I'm Alexine, and today I'm here with my Tita Sienna. Hi! Please state your name, ethnicity, and the name of your organization.
Okay. My name is Sienna Lumakang. I am Filipina proud, and my organization, my business is Graze and Gobble.
Alright, that's amazing. So what are we having on the menu today?
Yes, for our, what is it you're calling? The
mukbang.
Mukbang.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're enjoying today from two restaurants out of 1-800-LUCKY. So from Sili, we're enjoying their chili garlic noodles. And then from Jeepney, Miami edition, we're doing, of course, the grilled barbecue skewers, chicken and pork. Yes. Okay, the triple cooked pork belly sisig, the stir fry rice noodles, or as you all may know, pancit, and the beef tapa fried rice, which is right here.
Yep.
And then we got also fresh coconut juice, because we can.
Because we can.
Oh, and then we have a cold brew coffee also from Sili, and then we have a mango passion fruit refresher. Yeah.
All right. Amazing. I can't wait to dig in. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna ask you 5 questions while we're eating.
Yeah.
And you can just answer like while we're preparing our food.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So the first question is, what was it like moving from your home country to the U.S.? And was it hard to adjust?
Okay. So it's kind of a trick question because I was born here in the United States. It was my mom who came here from the Philippines in the late 1970s. And I say it like that, but like 1979.
Okay.
She came here, and then I was born in 1980. I was born here in Miami, so Miami born and raised. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
But as far as I think on the flip side of what you're asking, which is how did I maybe get to know my culture, our Filipino culture, being born here in the United States.
Yeah.
I think that maybe is more of what my experience was. And initially, experiencing Filipino culture was really about food.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
That was really like the everyday exposure to Filipino culture that I didn't realize was Filipino culture. I just knew it as like my food for the day.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because
Um,
food is like a very important like language, I'd say.
Yes.
It's a type of language.
It is.
Type of cultural language.
for sure.
Yeah, and it's a part of our everyday life.
Yes.
And it's and the traditions are like very interesting and like they're very valuable as well.
Yes, agreed. And then I guess the other way that I started to experience Filipino culture was through seeing traditional dances, like over the holidays. So, being able to see tinikling for the first time,
Yes,
Bandingka sa ilaw, I hope I'm saying that right, for the first time, but again, like over the holidays, and like seeing, also like our cultural folk dress, like the barong, Maria Clara. Those were the other ways that I experienced Filipino culture, like growing up. Yeah.
That's a very good answer.
Thanks. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay, so the second question is, in comparison to the U.S. and your home country, how different do you think the values and traditions are here in comparison to the Philippines? And did you ever get to visit the Philippines?
Okay, hold on. There's a lot going on there. Okay, so the first part was
in comparison to the U.S. and your home country, how different are the values and traditions?
Okay, so when I think of Filipino culture, automatically I think family,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Community. And not to say that that's something that's especially different or lacking in the United States, because obviously there's so many cultures that also thrive on bringing community together, and the more we are together, the better that we are, right? But I think it really stands out in Filipino culture, because I think when I go home to our little town, and I don't know how many other people have this experience, our area that our house is like next to the house of my cousin, or next to the house of my aunt, and then behind me is my cousin on my on my grandfather's side, or my aunt, you know, 2 aunts, my great aunt.
It's a close
But
knit community.
we're like, and then we share the courtyard that connects our houses. We share that area, and that's where we have our chickens and our pigs and our garden, you know. So it's really like almost like a compound of family that I don't think we see here in the United States.
I feel like that's very uncommon because,
Right?
especially because in the U.S., individualism is very important. So I've seen people, especially online, like devaluing other Asian people for still living with their parents or still living with their family. Because here in the U.S., it's obviously more encouraged to like be yourself, get your own house. But I feel like they forget that America has been like a very diverse country over the years.
Oh yeah.
And it still is today. And a lot of Asian cultures have put family first, and it's normal for them to still live with their grandparents and their families, and still live in the same house with them. So
Right, multi-generational household, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what was the second part to that
the
question?
second part of the question is, did you ever get to visit the Philippines?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very distinct, amazing memories visiting. First time I visited, I was 8 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 8 years old. I know. And I actually went, not even with my mom. My mom stayed back and she was working, but it was a family friend of ours who took me because she was planning a trip there, and then I basically met my mom's sisters, my aunties, my titas. For the first time, was very like, just like, here's your family, okay, now go with them. And so at first I was very shocked and disoriented, because I'm like, why are you giving me to these strangers? This is, you know, what I felt at the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so we met in a major city. We met in Quezon City for them to be able to take me, and then traveled. Oh my gosh! So first time traveling like by a huge ferry, huge boat. Lots of seasickness on that travel, unfortunately. And then very distinctly remember having to do a very long bus ride, like from the port that we got into. I think it was in Cagayan de Oro, where we got from off the ferry, and then onto a bus, and it felt like days, but really it was like hours, but like it felt like days of being on this bus. And it was like when the buses didn't have air conditioning, like it was just like windows down, dust, like everything, you know. But as soon as we got to our town, you know, my aunties had to say like para, like to the bus driver, like to stop.
Yeah.
So we're going from like 50 miles per hour and then stopping to like 0 and like a second. It was kind of crazy. But as soon as I got off the bus, I'm like, I don't know why, but as soon as we got to like the town has a plaza. As soon as we got to the plaza, I don't know, I just felt like a peace, and like really like a feeling of like a homecoming. When I arrived, like something felt right. Something automatically felt right. Yeah.
You actually felt that.
Yeah.
You're back where you belong.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to go back too.
Yes.
It's been a while.
When was the last time you were home?
Oh gosh. I think it was like 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
What year are we in? Oh,
We're-
2025. Okay, so it's 8 years.
Yes.
Right? Am I doing the math right? Okay,
Maybe.
8 years. Okay.
Yeah. Someone can correct that. But thank you for the answer. That was really beautiful. I love that story.
Thank you.
Okay. So the third question is, how did you start Grace and Gobble? And what fueled you to start it?
Okay. All right. Okay, starting Raise and Gobble. It really just started as me as like an everyday individual. You know, I have disposable income in order to like, you know, buy myself some clothes or buy my family some clothes. And I have a passion for fashion. And I like also like matching outfits with my kids. Anyway, so at this particular time where I ended up starting Grace and Gobble, I was being more conscious about the choices I was making, with how I was spending my money. Like, how am I voting with my dollar on the good people doing the good hard work is what I started to do just for myself and for my own microcosm, my own family. And so I was trying to find fashion, like cool brands, cool styles, but that when I read about these brands that I felt like, okay, they are putting people first, making sure that the people that are making these garments are being paid fair wages or in good working environment, or that they're working with local communities and local artisans, right? And then the other part was, okay, how are they making this clothing? You know, are they doing things for the betterment of our home, all of our home, which is our planet, Earth, right? And so as I was trying to make those more conscious decisions about how I was spending my money, voting with my dollar, I was finding it not as easy as I thought it could be. And I'm like, this shouldn't be this hard to find these good brands, right? And so then that's when I had like the light bulb, like aha moment, you know, of like, okay, well then, if there isn't anyone out there that I feel like that's doing that, that's getting the cool styles, and that knows that these brands are putting people and planet first, then I'm gonna do it. Which was like, what? But also like, yes, at the same
if
time.
If nobody else is gonna do it, I might as well.
Right, I get, yeah, exactly, right, yeah. So that's how Grace and Gobble got started.
That's amazing,
Well,
actually.
Thank you.
I aspire to be like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Screw everything, just do it. Okay, so we're almost done. Okay. So we're of Asian culture, right? And has your culture played a part in your business? And was it difficult to start it? And did it eventually get easier, or is it still hard?
Oh my God, there's so much to that question too. Whoever came up with these questions, man, they're like 3 deep. These questions.
I wrote them.
Oh my. These are so deep and so layered. Awesome. Okay, so first part of that question is?
Has your culture played a part in your business?
Okay, so yes, and on two sides of, I guess, the same thing. So one side of my culture that has played into the business is like, I don't know if it's my culture or my upbringing, and I guess it's one and the same, but it's this kind of a little bit of a feeling of like, can I do this? Do I have, like, is it really me who needs to do this? Am I strong enough to do this? Maybe I should just leave it to somebody else to do it. It's not a traditional line of business to be in, I guess, in our culture. I didn't, like kind of quintessentially, I didn't go into the medical field, right?
Yeah.
I went into business, you know, right? Like I went for, being an entrepreneur and like, carving my own piece in this whole world kind of thing. And so, that part is a bit scary and not stable. And I think our culture loves when we do something that's more stable.
Yeah.
Stable, right? Like, because, it's all relative, right?
It's all relative.
Yeah.
It's all like family, like generational things.
Yeah.
Because the Philippines is it's like with most Asian cultures, like it's more about getting food on the table than following like what you actually want to do. So you're left. So it was like you're left with like, is it really worth it doing this? Was that what it felt like?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Where's the joy, right?
Where's the joy?
Where's the joy? So you know, going after the joy, right? Like that's where I'm at right now. You know, and I've been saying to myself lately, choose the next choice by what is going to bring you joy most, right? So if you're presented, yeah, right? Like if you're presented with like, okay, do I do A or do I do B? And you're finding it difficult to choose, bring it to, okay, which choice is going to bring me more joy? And so the more that you continue to pick the choice that brings you joy, your joy becomes exponential, right? Because you're always choosing what's going to bring you joy. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do is do the joyful thing. Yeah. And I know there were more parts to that question.
Yeah. So
I mean, I don't want to, because it's a great, like, very multifaceted question.
Okay. And so that was how your culture played a part in your business, choosing joy. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Was it difficult to start your business, and did it eventually get easier?
Yeah. So the starting of the business, like, you know, the idea, right? Like the core of what it is that I wanted to do was there, and kind of using that as a guiding post, right? It's the thing, the multiple, like, array of things that you need to do to start a business can feel daunting. I thrive on checklists. I don't know, like, so once I got like a good checklist in front of me of like, okay, here's how you need to start up a business. You need to get an accounting. You need to be legally set up. Like, you know, there's certain markers, right, of like setting up a business correctly, right? And so I very much subscribe to, for better or worse, I like to have like a solid foundation in order to then build upon, right? So getting the solid foundation can take a bit more time on the front side, but I think it makes a difference in the long run, because if you have a good base to stand from, then every other choice afterward feels more solid, right?
Yes.
Is it still difficult? Yes, absolutely.
I can imagine.
Like I'm constantly trying to test new ways of presenting and showing up for myself, for the business, to really, like, what is it, like, put on a loudspeaker, you know, hey, there are these amazing people doing amazing work in their different brands, that they are consciously making sure people are taken care of, the planet is taken care of, and I'm here trying to just shine a spotlight on those individuals. And some of them are Filipino designers and artists that I work with too. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So one of them is I'm wearing today, of course. So Hazel, who's the designer for And Again clothing. Yeah, so she is in Manila, Philippines, and she works with local bakeries. And she takes their used flour sacks, saco de harina, flour. Baking flour. And she takes the flour sack, which, you know, would otherwise be considered garbage, right? Like, you know, would otherwise get thrown out in the waste. She's like, no, it's amazing material. It's a cotton canvas material, right? And she turns it into beautiful garments. You know, she meticulously cleans them, prepares them, cuts them, works with local community team, and creates, beautiful, beautiful pieces. And so her brand is called And Again, right? Like,
so that makes a lot of sense.
Right? So it was a flour sack, and it's going to be something, and again, it's going to be a polo, or she used it. Exactly. Yeah.
That's a very resourceful and a very creative business.
Yeah. So I'm, you know, Graze and Gobble, you know, what I'm trying to do here is just help, you know, other families, you know, be able to, vote with their dollar on keeping the good choices, the choices that bring you joy.
The choices
right?
that bring you joy.
Right.
That's our motto
Yeah.
for this video. Choose the choices that bring you joy. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on the final question.
Oh, okay. One more.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so the last question is, do you hope to carry on your legacy of not just Grace and Gobble, but also your Filipino culture with future generations?
Whoa. Okay, well, I hope I'm doing some of that today. Right? Because you're a future generation.
Yes.
Or you, I mean, right. But yeah, definitely as an individual, right? Like I am 45 years old, or I will be 45 years old this month.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. And I'm very much coming back home to myself in that way about our culture. So I don't know everything there is to know.
Yeah.
Right?
Me neither.
neither.
We don't know everything.
So I'm still learning, and so by virtue of me still learning, then I can learn new and share it, like even with my children.
Yes.
You know, even with Valentina and Bugsy.
Yeah.
And so in that way, individually, yes, for sure. Still, learning, growing, thriving in Filipino culture, and then yeah, for sure, with Graze and Gobble too. Initially, when I started Graze and Gobble, and I was very focused on sustainable brands, a lot of what I was finding first were brands that were started in European countries, because in the sense of fashion, they're a little bit more ahead of the game than necessarily here in the United States, right? And so those were a few of the brands that I started to partner with were there in Europe. And then I don't know when exactly it clicked, but I think it was a culmination of the whole coming back home to myself. I started to think, okay, well, wait, what about Filipino designers that are doing what it is that I'm looking for, right? And so, Google search and doing the research that way, investigating, and that's when I found Hazel with And Again, and I found Rio with Rio Daso. She works with retazo. You know retazo? So, Filipino word of the day, retazo. So retazo means scraps, right?
Oh.
Video camera mom. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So the designer's name is Rio, but she works with retazo, right? So her brand is called Rio Tazo.
Oh, that's creative.
Yeah. So I should have brought something of hers to show, but maybe we can put that in when you do the edit of the video. But she makes beautiful pieces, and it's like she's working when she works with the scraps. She visually, it's like she kind of throws the scraps on the fabric, the table, her working table, and it's almost like she's painting with the fabric scraps. So then she's discovered a way to then create unique. Everything is one of one pieces that she makes bags. She makes reversible, or she calls it reversible vests, and also reversible cover-ups. But all of her pieces are basically wearable art. Is what her niche is, her designs are. So coming back home meant that I was able to find designers in the Philippines that are doing the cool work to put people in planet first. Yeah.
Well, finding people like you is always it's very elating.
Yeah.
Because you're not the only. Because now you're not the only.
Right. You're on a vibe, right?
Yeah.
Like a vibration, an alignment. Yes.
Yeah. And
yes.
that's also another thing in Filipino culture. Community. Community and family. That's what keeps us together. Community.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for asking to do this. Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be it for the interview with Emily.
Did a great job.
Yeah. Oh, you did a great job. Excuse me.
Give it up for the interviewer.
Yay.
Give it up for the videographer too, Mom. Shout out to Mom.
Yay! We all did a good job.
And now we get to like really shout out
Yes.
off camera.
All right. So say bye.
Oh, bye. FSA.
FSA. Bye FSA. Bye.
We have to.